The aftermath of the police brutality that was meted against our youths and activists during the Gen Z protest is still with us. Many abductions, some of the youths have not been found. We all know about the deaths and the massacre that was meted because we saw what happened in the Mukuru Kwanjenga dumping site. And even though the president and the government would want us to believe that there is calm and tranquility within the country, people still have the scars with them. There are parents who are still mourning the deaths of their loved ones. There are people who have not been found. And there are Kenyans who have decided that Aluta continua, they are going to continue the fight, despite some part of the opposition joining the government, despite a very uncertain environment where we do not know who is in the government, who is with the Kenyans, who is with the oppressed, and who is with the oppressor. Today, there was a case in court against some activists, including Boniface Mwangi. And as the case was going on, some angered Kenyans who believe that this government should have gone home as early as yesterday, decided to storm the court premises, and they disrupted the court process under the watch of security and the lawyers who are there. Take a look.
There's no justice in this country. There's no justice for the people in this country. The justice system in this country is broken. We cannot persevere. We cannot go like this. We must fight until the very end. I'm ready to die for Africa. Africa has suffered for so long. And I even leaders are coming. We are brothers. Release our brothers. Release our brothers. Where is your Mwangi? Of this nation of Mwangi. I see the hands. Release our brothers. The ordinary people, as we are needed of Mwangi, our own patriot. One says that every Kenyan has got a duty and a responsibility to fight against oppression. So regardless of who you are, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your status in life, regardless of
You know, sometimes I look at these activists and I'm wondering, why take the risk? And the answer is very simple. There are people who have decided that they are not going to rest until they achieve what they want. The tree of democracy, they say, is a collective responsibility for it to mature. Some people will till the land, some people will plant that tree, others will water the tree of democracy, others will prune it. And then a generation that comes later enjoys that fruit. We have the privilege of criticizing the president, courtesy of some people who sacrificed their lives. People can go and demonstrate. But in the words of one of the late Pan-Africanists, it's not yet Uhuru, and therefore people must continue fighting. This young man will face other charges for disrupting court sessions. And he's doing this because he's fighting for a generation. He wants to ensure that there will be a better generation in future. And is fighting against police brutality. If you watch Kamau, his name I think, during the Gen Z protest, they joined hands and he became a victim of harsh treatment. But he's never caught. He continues with this same trend. These people were fighting, and later in the day, Boniface Mwangi and the group were released. But they said they are not leaving the court premises until they know the fate about those who have been abducted.
We are free. Yes. We are going home. Yes. But you can't go home yet without talking about our brothers and sisters who are missing. Yes. The DCI and NIS took these 3 men. Yes. They were abducted by the state. Yes. There is evidence. The court gave a court order for the police to produce them. They have refused to produce them. Yes. When our president, our lying president, goes around and says there are no missing people, these are the missing people. Yes. Mwango. Mwango kabisa. So our demand is to release these 3 men unconditionally, and every other person who is missing. My brother here went to State House yesterday, and we're planning to go to State House to give Ruto a list of the missing people. Yes. We shall march to Parliament, to State House, to Patia Kwani. It's a public house. We shall march to State House to Patia Ruto list of the missing people. Yes. And then, listen people, NIS budget is 46.8 billion shillings. That is the money that is being used to abduct people, bribe politicians, and buy royalty. Yes. We have refused to be bribed, but now we're being intimidated. The reason why people can't go to the streets because the police are looking down Nairobi. But the resistance is still strong. Yes. We are going to resist until Ruto goes. Yes. Ruto must go. Ruto must go. Must go.
Now, William Ruto has since said that he's not aware of any abductions. That is, he has maintained that he is not aware of any kind of abductions in the country. Yet we all know that Alfred Keter, there was an almost the same case of Alfred Keter, who was forcefully ejected out of his car and thrown into a private car. And later William Ruto said that he had disobeyed summons. We remember the former NTV journalist who was abducted in front of it was that Mwangi police station, in front of the police. Were it not for the social media and mainstream media and the noise that people made, we don't know what would have happened. Later, the police was saying that they confused him for another person. I want you to listen to this preacher who is lamenting that people who have engaged in criticizing the government are facing the same fear. This is after Morara Kebasu, who has been exposing the rot in the government, claimed that he knows his life can end any time because we have a government that does not uphold democracy. It is just on paper. They would want to deal with a lot of brutality against those people who are criticizing them. People are exposing the rot. You remember there was a time when the control of budget, Margaret Nyakang herself, was arrested. Anyone who tries to cross the government's path must meet the wrath of the government. That is the government that they have. So this preacher was saying that we have sunk too low. We have condescended to a level where anyone who is trying to criticize the government is being met by the full force, not of the law, but just the brutal of the unlawful police officers. Listen to the preacher.
There is a young man that is going looking for government projects. What's the name of that boy? Or that man? Sorry. He's way younger than me. What's the name? What's his name? Muranga. Okay, I don't want to say. You know that man. I saw the other day he said he's now speaking as a dead man. He says, if I die, then I ask myself a question. What is he dying for? For saying that a project was launched and it did not happen. What is he dying for? Where have we gotten to Kenya that you want to silence people? That truth cannot be truth. What did that boy say that is a lie? He went to the project that was launched and he said it was launched, but it has. That boy should ask, or that man, sorry, should ask a question of what of these things do you accuse me of? What would you accuse that man for? If at all, in case you are not aware, because according to you, God only uses a preacher, that man has been sent by Jesus. He doesn't know me and I don't need to know him, but I'm telling you, I know deposits of people that have been sent by Christ. He might not even know much about prayer, or he might. He might not be a fasting man, but I can tell you the spirit that is pushing that man. You know why? God loves justice. Satan doesn't.
So we're in a country where you don't know who is safe anymore. But the people have decided they are going to fight. Whether they're going to lose their lives in the process, they're going to fight. We know that there are people who are supposed to be fighting. They have gone to slumber. Those who are supposed to check the government, those who are supposed to check the executive like parliament, have gone to bed with the executive. And then Kenyans realize that they have been left on their own. And it is upon Kenyans to rise up It is upon Kenyans to decide that we must stand up for our rights, because no one is going to give it to us. You remember the second liberation, even the first liberation, people had to go out there to criticize. We are privileged that we even have the social media. We are better off than our forefathers who fought tooth and nail to get their freedom, because we now have some tools that they never had. They had the resolve to ensure that they liberated our country. Yet the people who were supposed to help are now, are now lukewarm. From where you sit, what are you doing to ensure that things happen? You could even start by, changing yourself, just to ensure that you don't take bribe, you don't offer bribe, just to ensure that you even enlighten your community, your friends, that people need to stand up for their rights. And people like this young man here have really experienced a lot of torture, yet they're doing it on someone's behalf, on your behalf, you and I. Such things will be seen because the government does not listen to us. They're looking for escapism. When they are confronted like the Gen Zs did, then they look for Raila to form a government of national unity or a broad-based government. Does it help? We are, instead of treating the very disease, we keep on giving it. We give it painkillers so that the pain can reduce. Yes, the elephant in the room is not being attacked. Very soon it will attack us. And I keep on repeating, if we can maintain the pace, the criticism, people going out there, we should ensure that we have our voter card. Because come 2027, we are going to vote with such anger as never before that no one will be able to steal the votes. This kind of thing should agitate the anger in us. When we see people joining the government, it should even agitate us more, so that we shun corruption and we kick out the political class and, ensure that we vote new fresh blood into the government. That's my take.